foundation is being built right now. I mean, it's the second phase, and first phase is in the weight room, and now this is the second phase of building the foundation of the ball club. And put a lot on him mentally today. He solved more, so it was good and bad, like it should be this time. Some good, some bad, but we're gaining it.
We got it.
How's Christian Jones?
Great. Yeah, he's running around doing individual. Maybe full go, ready to go for the full.
So where do you put him now?
Put him in red, and he does individual, and he runs around and coaches the young guys up and yells at guys. And he's got, I think, a really good perspective. I mean, he's played at an all Big Ten elite level, and then unfortunately in football taken away from him, and was through a couple of years now, especially last year. You know, we didn't play collectively as a ball club the way we wanted to, especially offensively, and especially at his position. And he's really taken over the leadership there. So very pleased with that.
Beyond missing his physical skills last year, what else about him did you miss on the team?
I think he plays a lot of passion, you know, and he's a physical guy. So I think those two things, the playmaking obviously, you know, just the physical play and the attitude and leadership that he brings along with it.
You got it. Go ahead.
Talk about Christian last year, like what he meant to the team. I always saw him at practice out there. Like,
yeah, he was great. No, he's terrific. I mean, he's a special guy. His mom is awesome. I mean, he's from a great family. Got hurt his senior year in high school, you know, during spring ball. And he's dealt with adversity before. You know, he's a pro prospect, and he acts like a pro every day. I mean, he's a guy that works hard in the film room, in the weight room, taking care of his body, and he comes out to practice with a great attitude every day because he's had it taken away from him. So, you know, he knows that he gets it, and he's trying to impart that wisdom and leadership on his teammates. And you know, that to me is his biggest strength. I mean, he's just the full package. You know, he's a fun guy to coach. Fun guy to coach.
Is he one of those you offered when he got injured and when you kept the offer on the table?
Yeah. So, I guess that's rare. I guess I don't know.
Any updates on the quarterbacks? How they're playing? What you've been installing with them?
Yeah, they're doing well in things and doing terrible in things, and you know, it's the ebb and flow of spring ball. I think. You know, one guy, it's kind of like both sides of the ball. Neither of them go home after each spring practice happy. The only guy that goes home happy is me if we're getting better and we stay injury free. Because there's ebb and flow. There's going to be good plays and bad plays. But I think they're doing well. I think they're, like I said at the start, I think they're great teammates. I think they're all trying to win the job, but I think they're all encouraging and uplifting their teammates. And that to me is probably what's more important, the humility. You know, the competitive humility, I think, is something that's pretty neat with all three guys.
When you're evaluating guys during practice, and when you have a quarterback competition, is that sort of your main focus? Because obviously there's more than one thing.
Yeah, that's a great question. No, not really. I'm looking at the whole team. You know, Nick obviously has got his eyes focused solely on them, and maybe more so on them now than maybe the whole overall offense, which is given a little bit more responsibility to Matt McPherson and Dennis Springer, you know, from a standpoint of really managing the skill guys overall and over the top. No, I'm looking at everything. You know, it starts with the guys' attitude and then how it carries on. So, yeah.
What have you seen from Austin Anderson so far, and how nice it to have him healthy? Or is he 100% healthy?
Yeah, I think he is. I think, or if not, he's really close. He's probably not in close to being in good enough shape, you know, just because he's never practiced in college. I think Austin's neat. He's got a dynamic personality. He's not a cookie-cutter personality, I guess is what I'd say. He's not a, you know, say the company line, he's the other way around. He's more free spirit, and, you know, I like those guys. And he's learning, he's growing. It will be a very hard spring for him mentally and physically, eradicating some bad habits, cultivating some new habits. You'll see. Are you guys talking to him today? Yeah, he's a dynamic guy. He's a really neat guy.
Does that translate over to the field, that personality, from what you've seen?
Not yet. Not yet. He's learning. Yeah, it will. Usually, typically with guys like him that are dynamic, it usually carries over when he gets some confidence. Now, he'll tell you he's confident, but he's not. That's just the way. That's the way it is. It's called false bravado. It's the way it is with redshirt freshmen.
There's a couple brothers already on the team, and Tommy Vitale coming in this year to play with his brother Dan. Can you kind of talk about the unique dynamic when there's two brothers who are playing on the same team?
Yeah, and you know, and Flynn Nagel coming in, his brothers have played.
Right.
Yeah, and the Baker brothers, and I don't know, the K-Rose and the Dickersons, and yeah, all that. You know, we've had that here for a while. I'll go back when I played. There were multiple brother tandems, the Mussos and the Burtons of the world, and other guys. I just think that what that shows is that we back up what we tell kids in recruiting. And families understand and know, as they've gone through the process the first time, you know, kind of from A to Z, identification that I'm a prospect, I sign, and now you know, my son is actually in the program, to now the next young person in the family comes along, and if they're blessed enough to have a second son who's a Division I prospect, I think they have the family has a more keen ability to go out and ask the right questions in recruiting. And I think having a brother in the program and knowing everything about who we are and the full disclosure from a standpoint of what we try to be in recruiting and transparent, but then back it up, I think speaks volumes to the way that we go about our business in recruiting.
How about the offensive line? You got a couple spots open this spring. Anybody standing out for you so far?
You know, Louis, we've only been in pads 2 days. I mean, I'm gonna, and I know you guys got to ask me, but 2 days doesn't make a player. We got a long way to go. I think that group is competing hard. I really do. I think they all are working their butts off to improve. I think some of the younger guys are getting a very heavy dose of reality of how physical it is up there. And I think they're working their butts off to improve on that attitude and that physicality more than anything. And I think the technique will follow, and I think the confidence will then follow after that.
You weren't happy with the competition on the offensive line last year.
No, I was not. No, I was not. I think that we had some guys that became comfortable twos, and then we had some guys that got.
That's what I meant.
Yeah, and then we had some guys that had opportunities to win jobs and didn't win them, and then just took the role and accepted it. And you know, that's really disappointing about last year. But a positive byproduct is those guys that are coming back have learned from that. So it stinks for the seniors from last year, but it's better for the team in the long run moving forward. Sound good?
Yep.
Thanks,
Thanks a
guys.
lot.